Hello students again. In the last video class we studied about the impact of jet and we considered some of the cases of the impact of a running water, impact of a water jet on a plates. Different conditions of plate were involved. We have till date completed only the cases where the plate is fixed. That means the plate was not moving, it was stationary. And in the last video class we completed 4 cases. The first case was when the plate is vertical and fixed. In that case we saw the force exerted by the water jet on the vertical plate came to be Fx was rho a v square. Then we covered case 2 in which the plate was curved and again it was stationary, and in this case due to the curve there was force in both directions y and x, so we calculated Fx and Fy. So Fx, the force in the direction of the water jet, came out to be rho a v square 1 plus cos theta, and Fy, force perpendicular to the direction of water jet, came out to be minus rho a v square sin theta. Then we saw another case where the water jet strikes not in the middle but tangentially at one corner. In that case again there was Fx and Fy. So Fx came out to be 2 rho a v square cos theta and Fy was 0. And finally we went to the fourth case where the plate was curved but it was an unsymmetric plate. That means the angle made by the water inlet and outlet were not same. The angle at inlet was theta but at outlet it was phi. So again there was Fx and Fy. Fx came to be rho a v square cos theta plus cos phi, and Fy was rho a v square sin theta minus sin phi. Now it's time to consider cases where the plate is in moving condition. We have completed all the case where plate is stationary. Now we'll consider when the plate is moving. So the case 5 where water jet strikes a vertical plate moving in the direction of jet. Means the plate is moving in the direction of the jet. So firstly we will take a vertical plate. Again there is a water jet. So again just in last cases we will take the velocity of water jet as capital V. So we know if the plate is vertical and it's stationary, when the water jet strikes, after striking it shall move in such direction. That means it will completely change its path to 90 degree and move in y direction. But now the case is, along with the water that is flowing towards the plate is also moving and the direction is in the direction of the jet. Means the plate is also moving in this direction. So if I consider after a time t seconds, as the plate, I will consider the velocity of the plate to be u. So after a time t seconds, suppose the plate is now here. This is my new position of the plate. The water jet that was supposed to strike here, now it moves like this. The plate is no more there. So the water jet will move like this and here it is going to strike the plate. Then after striking the plate, again in the same way, water will be moving in this direction away from the plate. So, can you tell me what would be the velocity at which it will strike the plate? We have already done this in physics. We all know the concept of relative velocity. Just like a train starting from point A, whereas another train starting from point B, it is moving with x direction, x meter per second, and this is moving at y meter per second. We have all calculated at what point, at what position they are going to meet, and at that time we used to calculate the relative velocity. The relative velocity is taken when both the bodies are in motion, when both the bodies are in moving condition. So similarly here, as both the water and the plate are in moving condition, I will take the concept of relative velocity. So what is the formula of relative velocity? When both the bodies are in the same direction, the relative velocity will come to be v minus u. And if the body are in opposite direction, like in this case, the velocity would have been v plus u. But now my case is in same direction, so the relative velocity here, it comes to be v minus u. So to find out the force in the direction of motion, in the direction of the jet, what we have to do? So again, Fx, that is the force exerted by water jet on the vertical plate in the direction of the jet, that means in x-axis. Similar to last time, this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. So we shall find out the force in x-axis. What is the formula of Fx? Fx is rate of change in momentum in the direction of jet, just like our last time. Fx is the rate of change of momentum in the direction of the jet. So the initial momentum minus the final momentum divided by your time. So Fx is your initial momentum minus the final momentum divided by time. And as we have already done, what is the formula of momentum? Momentum is your mass into your velocity. So initial momentum becomes mass into initial velocity minus final momentum becomes mass into your final velocity divided by time. So I can take mass completely from the bracket. If I take out mass from, this is your initial velocity minus final velocity divided by time. Just like our previous time, Fx is equal to mass by time into initial velocity minus your final velocity. And we had substitute mass by time as, in previous cases it was rho a v. But here, as the velocity that we are talking, the velocity at which the water jet strikes the plate will be not just v, it will be v minus u. That is your relative velocity. So rho a v r. The mass by time will be written as rho a v r in place of v. And I know the relative velocity is given by v minus u. As we found out, VR is equal to V minus U. So I can substitute mass by time as rho A V minus U. That implies, so the Fx force can be given by, in the x direction will be given by rho A V minus U, that is substitute for mass by time. What is the initial velocity? Again, the initial velocity will be your VR, the relative velocity, which is your V minus U. And what is the final velocity? The final velocity, as we have to see in the x direction, the water is moving out in y direction, so there is no velocity in x direction. That is why the final velocity in x direction will be taken as 0. So Fx is finally given as rho A V minus U whole square. This is my equation 8. As in this case, the plate at which the water is striking is moving, so I can find out the work that is done by the jet on the plate. The work done on the plate by the jet of water, I can calculate this as, I know the work done formula as force into your distance or displacement. In this case, as we are already in the same axis, so I'll write it as distance. The work done is given by force into the distance. If I say the work done per second on the plate by the jet of water, which is also the power, as the work done per second is given by your power, I can write as force into the distance by time, and this can be your distance by time is your velocity. So the work done per second on the plate by jet of water will be given by the force into your velocity. What is the magnitude of force that I am talking here? That is your Fx into what is the velocity of the plate? That is your U. So velocity of the plate is given by U. That implies work done per second, as I have calculated Fx as rho A V minus U whole square, I will substitute in that place. Fx is rho A V minus U whole square into U. So this is my work done, and the equation number is 9. The work done on the plate by water jet per second is given by rho A V minus U whole square into U. What is the SI unit of work done? The SI unit, as we all know, of work done per second, it will be, I can take as Newton meter per second, or else as power it can be taken as your watt. Any unit, we can use any unit, Newton meter per second or else watt. Coming to our next case, that is case 6. Here I will consider water jet striking a curved plate. The plate is curved, which is again moving in the direction of jet. The plate is moving in the direction of the jet and the plate is curved. So let us have the diagram first. This is a curved plate. Again, this is a water jet. So, when the jet is striking, suppose this plate is not moving, it's stationary. So, it will strike and the water will come out in this manner. The velocity is v and the water jet will be coming out in this direction. But the plate is not stationary. The plate is also supposed to be moving. Let after a time t seconds, the plate is now in this position. And again, the velocity of the plate I take is u. So, the water that was supposed to strike here, now it will strike here. But similarly, the water will move out in this direction. So, this will be the direction of water coming out. So, I have to consider the velocity in that angle. What is the velocity? Again, will I be taking only v or considering also the velocity of the plate? I will be considering both of them. Hence, it will be your relative velocity. And the relative velocity in this case is given by v minus u, as both of them are in the same direction. So, this is v minus u. We solve problems either in x direction or else in y direction. So, just like the last time, I have to resolve this in either x direction and also in y direction. So, if this angle is theta, so just like the last time, this will be your VR cos theta and this will be your VR sin theta. The horizontal component is VR cos theta, the vertical component is VR sin theta. Just similar to the last time, we will be calculating all the forces, and here we will be taking in two directions, in directions x, fx, and direction y, fy. So firstly, fx. So the force in the x direction or in the direction of water jet, fx will be given by, similarly, mass by time, initial velocity minus the final velocity. And the mass by time is given as rho a v, but here the velocity will be taken as the relative velocity. So, rho a v r. What is the initial velocity? Before striking the plate, the initial velocity is not just v, not just u, but the relative velocity vr. And the final velocity, as this is x, in x direction is vr cos theta, but I can see this is in negative direction, so there will be one minus sign extra, minus vr cos theta. So I will substitute vr as v minus u. So rho a v minus u, again vr v minus u, the minus minus becomes plus v minus u cos theta. So I can totally take v minus u out of the brackets. So fx is equal to rho a v minus u. I take this out from the bracket and here is one v minus u. So v minus u square 1 plus cos theta. This is your equation 10. Fx is given by rho a v minus u square 1 plus cos theta. And similarly, if you want, we can find out fy also, that is in y direction. But as I have to find out the work done on the plate. As the plate is in u direction, that means it is in x direction, so I will find out the work in x direction only. So the work done on the plate by the water jet is equal to, again just like the last time, the work done is given by Fx into the velocity of the plate u. So Fx into u. So what is the Fx? Fx we found out was rho a v minus u whole square 1 plus cos theta. So rho a v minus u whole square 1 plus cos theta into u. So this is your work done on the plate by work done per second, work done per second, or else the power. We can also term as that the power. Work done per second on the plate by the water jet. So this is your equation 11. Now coming to the final and most important case, case 7, that is when water strikes a unsymmetric curved moving plate and the jet strikes tangentially at one end. That means the plate is unsymmetric, curved, moving, and the water strikes at one end tangentially. So let me draw the plate first. So as it is unsymmetric, the curve is slightly different as in from the top to bottom, and the water jet does not strike here, it strikes at one end tangentially. This is the water jet striking, and I know after striking, just like we have done previous cases of curved, the water is supposed to move out in this direction. So firstly, I'll name this as V1, and as it is unsymmetric, this will come out to be V2. Also in this case, the plate is moving with a velocity u. That means the water jet won't strike here. When the plate is moving, then when the plate is somewhere over here, the water jet will strike here. So I have to calculate, like just like after t seconds, in previous cases we saw the velocity was taken to be Vr, that is v minus u. Just like that, here also we have to calculate a relative velocity, but these are not in the same direction. V is somewhat inclined and u is horizontal, so Vr is little bit trickier to find than this. So to find out the relative velocity, let me draw the diagram completely. Just like u is horizontal, like that I will take two horizontal lines. So parallel to u, I am taking one line here. Let this be u1, and similarly in the outside, just like parallel to u, I will take a horizontal line. This is u2. This is u1, this is u2. So now coming to the here, let me see in the inlet first. Just like we have done this in previous chapters or previous subjects, just like in mechanics, there are two vectors, u1 and v1. So in order to find Vr, we have to find the resultant vector. So in this case, how will be the resultant vector over here? If this is one vector and this is another vector, the resultant vector will be when I will be joining both the ends. When I join both the ends of the vector v1 and u1, I get your resultant vector, and let me name as at vr1. This vector is your vr1. And similarly here I can see this is one vector, this is the other vector. The resultant vector will be when I join both the ends. So this resultant vector is vr2. I take it as vr2. So in this case, the previous cases where v bar was only v minus u, in this case we have a vr1 and we have a vr2. So again, vr1 is inclined. It is not in x or y direction. This is your x, this is your y. It is not either in x or y, it is somewhat inclined. And similarly, vr2 is also not in x or y direction. It is also inclined. So in such cases, what we have to do? We have to resolve this into a horizontal component and a vertical component. So what I can do is, I will take this side so that for vr2, this is the horizontal component and this will be your vertical component. This complete thing will be your vertical component. And similarly for vr1 also, I have to resolve this in this direction. This is your horizontal component and this is your vertical component. Only this one is your vertical component of vr1. So what are these portions? What can I name as these portions? So this is written as vf1 and this is written as vw1, whereas this one is written as vf2, this side is written as vf2 and this one is your vw2. I'll make you understand what is this f and w, but first I shall also let you know the angles. First, see the angle between v and u, that is the velocity of your water jet and velocity of your plate, is taken to be as your alpha. This is your alpha. And similarly, the angle between your, in the outside, in the outlet, the u2, that is your water, that is your plate, and water jet, here the angle is taken to be beta. Also the relative velocity, here it is your vr1 and here it is your vr2. The relative velocity angle, that is this one, is taken to be your theta, and here the relative velocity angle is taken to be your phi. So this complete thing is known as your inlet velocity triangle and this is known as your outlet velocity triangle. So let me draw this again in plain manner so it will be easier for you to understand. I am drawing this again one by one. First, the inlet velocity triangle. So in inlet velocity triangle, first we have the v1, that is the velocity of the water jet striking the plate. Here it strikes the plate and here I take this as u1, that is your velocity of the plate. So as I know, as both of them are vectors, I have to find a relative or a resultant velocity. So this is your resultant velocity or your VR1. This is your resultant or your relative velocity. I have to resolve this into vertical and horizontal component. So for if I say V1, so the angle between the velocity of the water jet and the velocity of the plate is given by your phi. Also, the V1 has two components. One is your horizontal component, which is known as your VF1, or I can also say it as the velocity of flow at the inlet. Also, it has got a vertical component. V1 has a complete vertical component, which is your VW1, which is also known as your velocity of wheel. So if this is the complete, I shall join this line also. So this complete, the whole thing is your VW1. So if I need to find out the component of VR1, so if this is VR1, the angle that is makes with the horizontal, that is taken to be as theta. So the vertical component of VR1 will be same as VF1. But what about the horizontal component? The horizontal component will be only this. For VR1, this is the vertical component, but the horizontal component will be only this. So how can I find out? So this point I can write as that VW1 minus U1. As the complete thing is VW1, if I subtract U1 from this, I'll get this at VW1 minus U1. So this is your inlet velocity triangle. VF1 is the velocity of flow at inlet and VW1 is the velocity of wheel at the inlet. Similarly, I have a outlet velocity triangle. So in the outlet velocity triangle also, we saw first we have a V2 which is slightly inclined, and then we have U2. U2 is the velocity of your plate. So we will be needing one resultant vector, this and this. When the edges are joined, I get a resultant vector VR2. So just like here, V1 had a horizontal and a vertical component, VF1 and VW1. Similarly, V2 also has a horizontal component. This is the horizontal. Horizontal is this is the vertical VF2. This is the vertical component, and this one will be your horizontal component of V2. That means only this one. Only this one is your horizontal component of V2, which is your VW2. Again, the angles, just like here we had V1 and U1 angle was alpha. Similarly here, V2 and U2 angle will be beta. And just like the relative velocity angle was theta, the relative velocity angle here will be phi. But for solving the equation, just like we had to resolve VR1 into the horizontal and its vertical component, which is only this one. Similar to here, what is the vertical component of VR2? If I see this triangle, the vertical component is this one, VF2. And what will be the horizontal component of VR2? The horizontal component will be completely this. So what is that? This is your U2 plus VW2, because VW2 is just this and U2 is this much. So the horizontal component will be U2 plus VW2. Again, this F2 is your velocity of flow at outlet and VW2 is the velocity of wheel at the outlet. So coming to our Fx and Fy. Finally, I have to find out the force in the direction of the water jet or perpendicular. So the Fx is given by mass by time into the initial velocity minus final velocity. So as this is a moving condition, so I have to find out the relative velocities. First, the mass by time, as we took in the last cases, the mass by time was taken as, in last cases we took as rho A VR. So similarly here will be taken rho A VR1, because at the inlet the relative velocity is VR1. Then what is the initial velocity and the final velocity in your x direction? I have to find out the initial velocity and the final velocity in x direction. So you can see from this, first let me see from inlet velocity triangle. From V1 and U1 I got VR1. So I have to find the horizontal and the vertical component of VR. So the horizontal component of VR1, how much is that? What is the horizontal component? It is only this one, which is your VW1 minus U1. And what is the vertical component? Vertical component is your VF1. So I can see the in x direction the component of VR1 is VW1 minus U1, and in y direction the component is VF1. Similarly, in the outlet triangle I can see the horizontal component of VR2. Which one is the horizontal component? This complete line, which is your U2 plus VW2. And similarly, the vertical component of VR2, which is the vertical component, this is. So this is your VF2. So in x direction I am going to take the horizontal components, and in y direction I can consider the vertical components. So in x direction the initial velocity will be taken as VW1 minus U1, and again in the final velocity will be taken as U2 plus VW2. But again here, as VR2 is in this direction, it is this way. So just like in previous cases, we have to add a minus sign, the negative sign, because the components will be in this direction. So I will be just adding a negative sign. So your Fx is given by, in place of mass by time, I can write rho A VR1, and the initial velocity is taken to be the horizontal component of VR1 in x direction, that is VW1 minus U1, VW1 minus U1, and also the final velocity that is the horizontal component of VR2 in x direction is taken to be U2 plus VW2. U2 plus VW2. But as I said, this will be in a negative direction. As in every cases that we solved the previous hand, this was in this direction. So the horizontal component will be in negative direction. So I have to add another minus to it so that I will find out in the opposite direction. So Fx is given by rho A VR1. I completely open the brackets. This minus becomes plus U2 plus VW2. So in this case, U1 and U2 are both the velocities of the plate. U1 and U2 that I have taken are similar to the velocity of the plate, so they are equal. I can write U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U. And also, considering if the flow of water is smooth, if the water jet is striking and the plate is smooth, then it can be assumed as VR1 is equal to VR2. We will be using this later on. Here now, rho A V1, here I can see minus U1 plus U2. As the both of them are same, so they cancel out each other. So left over is VW1 plus VW2. So this is your equation 12. So force in the direction of the jet is given by rho A VR1 into VW1 plus VW2. Suppose in this case, as you can see, the beta, that the velocity of water flowing out is one acute angle. Acute angle means it is less than 90 degree. But in some cases, as we saw, some cases it will happen like the water after striking, it can go out completely straight. That means V2 will be completely straight. So in this case, as the angle here beta is acute, here in this case the beta will be a 90 degree. If it goes out completely straight, beta can be 90 degree. And in some cases, if the plate is curved like this, then the water jet after striking will move like this. That means this was in this direction, now it can move in this direction. At that time, beta will be one obtuse angle. That means it will be more than 90 degree. So beta can be either acute, a 90 degree, or a more than 90 degree, that is an obtuse angle. So what happens in such cases? In such cases, if I take beta to be 90 degree, if beta is 90 degree, then you can see this. If beta is 90 degree, this will be completely horizontal. That means there will be just one vertical component and the horizontal component is completely empty. That means there will be no outside, there will be no component in the outer triangle. So Fx will become into VW1. That means VW2 becomes 0. VW2 will become 0. There will be no horizontal component, there will be only a vertical component. And if beta is an obtuse angle, the beta will be in obtuse angle, then we can see the diagram. The diagram will be in this side, this will be V2, hence all the other component moves to this side. That means VW2 and VF, they are in this side, but now they will move to this side. That means I can add a minus over there. VW2 will become minus VW2. In such case, Fx will become rho A VR1, VW1, there will be a minus VW2. So, generally, that is why we write, considering all the cases of beta, we can write Fx is equal to rho A VR1 VW1 plus or minus VW2. Plus or minus depends on the angle of beta. If beta is less than 90 degree, it's a plus. If beta is more than 90 degree, it is minus. And when beta is 90 degree, it's going to be 0. It's only VW1. Similarly, we will find the work done. So, the work done per second by on the plate by the jet of water will be again given as your force into your velocity of the plate. So, as I know, Fx, which I found out, is rho A VR1 VW1 plus or minus VW2 into U. So, work done per second on the plate will be given by rho A VR1 VW1 plus minus VW2 into U. Also, if I need to find out the work done per second per unit weight of fluid per second. It means in 1 second, what is the work done per unit weight of the fluid in 1 second. For that, I will take as, this will be again Fx into U. The work done per second is given as Fx into U divided by the weight of fluid per second. So, the weight of fluid that per second, I know the mass by time and weight will be given by mass into g. That means weight is given by mg, mass into g, and by for per time I have divided a time. So, this can be also written as Fx into U, g into, what do I write, mass by time, as we have written mass by time as rho A V R1. We are already writing this in the equation, mass by time is rho A V R1. So, I will substitute for Fx rho A V R1 into VW1 plus minus VW2 into U divided by G into rho A V1. So, see what cancels out? This things completely cancels out. Rho A VR1. So, left over is VW1 plus minus VW2 into U divided by G. So, your work done per second per unit weight of fluid per second will be given by VW1 plus or minus VW2 into U by G. and here the unit will be Newton meter per Newton. And finally, if we need to find out the work done per unit second per mass of the fluid per second, then work done per second per unit mass per second, it means your work done per second is Fx into u, and mass per second is your mass by time, which I write as the mass by time is written as what? Rho A VR1. So just we will solve this. Fx is your rho A VR1 VW1 plus minus VW2 into U divided by rho A VR1. So rho A VR1 cancels out, left over is your VW1 plus minus VW2 into U. So here the unit will be Newton meter per kg. And lastly, when I need to find out the efficiency of the jet, if I need to find out, what is the formula of efficiency? Any efficiency is given by your output by your input. So to find out the efficiency of the jet, what is the output? The output is the work done per second on the plate, and input will be as the water is striking the plate with a initial velocity. So the water has some kind of kinetic energy here. So the input will be your kinetic energy and output will be the work done on the plate. So the efficiency is given by the work done per second on the plate divided by the initial kinetic energy per second of the plate of the water jet. So what was the work done on plate per second that we found out? That is the equation. That is your this equation number 13. Rho A VR1 VW1 plus or minus VW2. Equation 14 into U. So the equation 14 I substitute rho A VR1 VW1 plus or minus VW2 into U divided by the kinetic energy. What is the formula of kinetic energy? The kinetic energy formula is half mv square. So here kinetic energy per second. So half mass. What is the initial velocity? Initial velocity is v1 square divided by your time, because it is initial kinetic energy per second. So mass into velocity 1 divided by your time. So I can also write this as efficiency is equal to rho A VR1 VW1 plus minus VW2 into U divided by, what is this? Mass by time. As we are writing mass by time from the very beginning as rho A. In this case we took V1, but initially if I consider only the velocity of the moving jet, so mass by time will be given as rho A V1, and there is one V1 square. So mass by time becomes rho A V1 and there is one V1 square. So there is one more V1 square. That implies rho A VR1 VW1 plus minus VW2 into U divided by half rho A V1 cube. So V1 plus V1 square, so this is V1 cube. So let's see what cancels out. Rho A can be cancelled out and 2 goes up, so this become 2 VR1 VW1 plus minus VW2 into U divided by V1 cube. This becomes your efficiency. The efficiency is given by this equation. This is equation number 15. As efficiency is unitless, so there will be no unit to this. So this is your efficiency of the water jet. In the next video class, we will try to solve some problems. We will see some numericals involved to striking of plate and the impact.